Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Monday, March 7th, 2022. Today I'm going to recap the weekend's college basketball, NBA, Major League Soccer, and Nhl Games. Look ahead to today's games in each sport. Then we'll recap the two golf tournaments, the NASCAR races from Vegas, go over news and notes. I have a mock bracket for you guys, and of course my best bet of the day. We're going to start in college basketball because this is March, as we will go over the games from the weekend and look ahead to everything going on today, although it's a small window today, though. So, Friday night, Big South quarterfinal, Longwood over NCAT, 79-65. MVC quarterfinal, Northern Iowa over Illinois State, 78-65. Big South quarterfinal, SCU upstate over Charleston Southern, 72-62. MVC quarterfinal, Loyola Chicago over Bradley, 66-50. SoCon first round, the Citadel over East Tennessee State, 84-76 in overtime. Winthrop over High Point, 68-51. The Big South quarterfinal, Ball State over Western Michigan, 64-63. Kent State over Buffalo, 76-65. Toledo over Bowling Green, 96-56. MVC quarterfinal, Missouri State over Valpo, 67-58. St. Bonaventure over Richmond, 72-65. Miami of Ohio over Eastern Michigan, 76-63. Akron over Central Michigan, 57-56. SoCon first round, Mercer over Western Carolina, 81-53. OVC semifinal, number 22, Murray State over Southeast Missouri State, 88-74. Northern Illinois over Ohio, 58-57. Big South quarterfinal, Gardner-Webb over Campbell, 54-53. WCC second round, BYU over Loyola Marymount, 85-60. MVC quarterfinal, Drake over Southern Illinois, 65-52. OVC semifinal, Morehead State over Belmont, 53-51. Utah State over San Jose State, 75-52. And WCC second round, Portland over San Diego, 73-55. Saturday's results, a lot of them. Number 11, Villanova over Butler, 78-59. Number 13, Tennessee over number 14, Arkansas, 78-74. LSU over number 25, Alabama, 80-77 in overtime. Longwood over SC, upstate, 79-70. Chattanooga over the Citadel, 71-66. Virginia over Louisville, 71-61. Georgia Tech over Boston College, 82-78 in overtime. Louisiana over Texas State, 79-72. Dayton over Davidson, 82-76. Number 5, Auburn over South Carolina, 82-71. Miami over Syracuse, 75-72. St. Peter's over Fairfield, 57-41. Niagara over Marist, 83-52. Iona over Quinnipiac, 79-61. Number 7, Kentucky over Florida, 71-63. Number 8, Purdue over Indiana, 69-67. Old Dominion over Middle Tennessee, 68-64. FA over FIU, 84-76. Clemson over Virginia Tech, 63-59. Florida State over NC State, 89-76. Dartmouth over Harvard, 76-54. West Virginia over TCU, 70-64. Fordham over George Washington, 70-66. LaSalle over Duquesne, 85-66, or 76. Big South semifinal, Winthrop over Gardner-Webb, 76-67. SoCon quarterfinal, Wofford over VMI, 68-66. Seton Hall over Creighton, 65-60. Notre Dame over Pitt, 78-54. St. Joe's over Rhode Island, 70-60. Oklahoma State over number 12, Texas Tech, 52-51. Troy over Little Rock, 69-62 in the Sun Belt quarterfinal. Utah State over East Carolina, 70-62. Arizona State over Stanford, 65-56. UTSA over Rice, 82-71. UTEP over North Texas, 70-68. Western Kentucky over Marshall, 78-69. UAB over Louisiana Tech, 87-74. Charlotte over Southern Miss, 70-67. Cal Baptist over Lamar, 78-66. Loyola Chicago over Northern Iowa, 66-43. MVC semifinal. Missouri over Georgia, 79-69. Number 6, Kansas over number 21, Texas, 70-63 in overtime. Washington State over Oregon, 94-74. UC Irvine over Cal State Bakersfield, 66-61. Florida A&M over Bethune-Cookman, 84-73. Southeast Louisiana over Northwestern State, 85-80. Seattle over Chicago State, 74-66. Cornell over Columbia, 78-64. Oklahoma State over Kansas State, 78-71. St. Louis over VCU, 69-65. UMass over George Mason, 83-80 in overtime. Canisius over Siena, 67-64. Rider over Monmouth, 74-65. Wyoming over Fresno State, 68-64 in overtime. Nichols over New Orleans, 92-85. Number 2, Arizona over Cal, 89-61. Number 18, UConn over DePaul, 75-68. Northeastern over William & Mary, 68-63 in overtime in the CAA first round. Southern over Alabama A&M, 50-49. Idaho over Northern Arizona, 78-69. Eastern Washington over Portland State, 83-75. A&M Corpus Christi over Incarnate Word, 77-68. Alabama State over Grambling, 78-75. Number 3, Baylor over Iowa State, 75-68. North Carolina upsets number 4, Duke, 94-81 at Coach K's final home game. NEC semifinal, Bryant over Mount St. Mary, 70-69. Sunbelt quarterfinal, Georgia State over Arkansas State, 65-62. Drake over Missouri State, 79-78 in overtime. And the MVC semifinal. ASUN semifinal, Bellarmine over Liberty, 53-50. SoCon quarterfinal, Furman over Mercer, 80-66. Alcorn State over Arkansas Pine Bluff, 100-77. Montana State over Northern Colorado, 87-85. Princeton over Penn, 93-70. Vanderbilt over Miss, 63-61. Jackson State over Mississippi Valley State, 76-69. Summit League quarterfinal, South Dakota State over Omaha, 87-79. ASUN semifinal, Jacksonville over Jacksonville State, 54-51. Long Beach State over UC Riverside, 73-72 in overtime. Xavier over Georgetown, 97-75. Abilene Christian over Tarleton, 61-56. Yale over Brown, 74-65. Washington over Oregon State, 78-67. Wagner over LIU, 82-62 in the semifinal. Southern Utah over Weber State, 80-70. Houston Baptist over McNeese, 149-144 in quadruple overtime. Grand Canyon over Dixie State, 70-53. Stephen F. Austin over Texas Rio Grande, 93-63. OVC final, number 22, Murray State over Morehead State, 71-67. Sunbelt quarterfinal, App State over Georgia Southern, 73-60. SoCon quarterfinal, Sanford over UNC Greensboro, 66-64. Texas Southern over Prairie View, 78-77. A&M over Mississippi State, 67-64. Colorado State over Boise State, 71-68. Cal State Fullerton over UC Davis, 62-59. Marquette over St. John's, 85-77. Sac State over Montana, 72-71. New Mexico State over Utah Valley, 62-46. Summit League quarterfinal, North Dakota State over Denver, 82-62. Colorado over Utah, 84-71. Number 17, UCLA over number 16, USC, 75-68. Hawaii over Cal State Northridge, 84-62. Cal Poly over UC San Diego, 80-76. WCC quarterfinal, San Francisco over BYU, 75-63. San Diego State over Nevada, 79-78. New Mexico over UNLV, 76-67. And WCC quarterfinal, Santa Clara over Portland, 91-67. Now, Sunday's results. Memphis over number 14, Houston, 75-61. CAA quarterfinal, Towson over Northeastern, 68-61. Big South final, Longwood over Winthrop, 79-68. So Longwood's going dancing with Murray State as of now. Rutgers over Penn State, 59-58. Michigan over number 23, Ohio State, 73-69. AEC quarterfinals, UMBC over UMass Lowell, 93-85 in overtime. AEC quarterfinal, Binghamton over New Hampshire, 72-69. Nebraska over number 10, Wisconsin, 74-73. AEC quarterfinal, Vermont over NJIT, 98-59. AAC quarterfinal, Hartford over Albany, 61-49. Patriot League semifinal, Colgate over Lehigh, 81-61. Tulsa over UCF, 73-72. Temple over South Florida, 75-47. MVC final, Loyola Chicago over Drake, 64-58. Loyola going dancing. Baylor over Drexel, 66-56 in the CAA quarterfinal. SMU over Tulane, 74-68. Navy over BU, 85-80 in overtime in the Patriot League semifinal. SoCon semifinal, Chattanooga over Wofford, 79-56. Michigan State over Maryland, 77-67. CAA quarterfinal, UNC Wilmington over Oline, 75-58. Sunbelt semifinal, Louisiana over Troy, 66-57. Furman over Sanford State, 51-68. SoCon semifinal. Summit League quarterfinal, South Dakota over UMKC, 74-61. Number 20, Illinois over number 24, Iowa, 74-72. Northwestern over Minnesota, 75-62. CAA quarterfinal, Charleston over Hopes, 92-76. Sunbelt semifinal, Georgia State over App State, 71-66. And Summit League quarterfinal, Oral Roberts over Western Illinois, 80-68. Short window for today. 6 o'clock, CBS Sports Network, CAA semifinal, Delaware Towson projection. Delaware by 5/8, total 141.25. And we got, let's see here, 6 and 138. I'm taking Delaware plus the 6 and plus 202 to win outright. Summit League semifinal, South Dakota State, 7 o'clock. Projection, South Dakota State by 7 and 7/8, total 153.75. And it's 8 and 157.5. Under. Wright State, Cleveland State. Horizon League semifinal, ESPNU. My projection is Cleveland State by 2 5/8, total 146 and 2/5. And it's 1 and 147.5. Slate, Cleveland State. Louisiana and Georgia State Sun Belt Championship final on ESPN2. Louisiana, Georgia State projection is Georgia State by 2 5/8, total 137 and 45 and it's 3 and 133.5. Over. Furman, Chattanooga, SoCon final on ESPN at 7 o'clock. My projection is Chattanooga by 3 5/8, total 142.5. And it's 1 and 139. Over. Although I do think Chattanooga will win. I do like Chattanooga in the over in a same gamer. 8:30 CBS Sports Network CEA semifinal. Charleston and UNT Wilmington. My projection is Wilmington by 2 7/8, total 148 and 4/5. And it's Charleston by 1, total 148. Wrong team's favorite, giving Wilmington plus the 1 and minus 102 to win outright. 9 o'clock ESPN. WCC semifinal. San Francisco and Gonzaga. My projection is Gonzaga by 6 7/8, total 148 or 147 and 85 and it's 14 and 155.5. Ooh, this is good. I guess I'll take San Francisco and the points, but I don't feel good about it. 9:30, Oral Roberts and North Dakota State Summit League semifinal. My projection is North Dakota by 2.5, total 150 and 3/4, and it's 1 and 150.5. Slight North Dakota State. Northern Kentucky, Purdue, Fort Wayne, 9:30 ESPN2 Horizon League semifinal. My projection is Northern Kentucky by 3 3/8, total 139 and 35 and it's 1.5 and 134.5. Over. And last but not least, 11:30 ESPN2 West Coast semifinal. Santa Clara, St. Mary's. My projection is St. Mary's by 6 3/8, total 139 and 95 and it's 5 and 138. I'm going to take a slight over as the pick. All right, now we'll move on to the NBA. We'll recap the games from the weekend, and we will look ahead to the games going on tonight. Friday, Pistons over the Pacers, 111-106. 76ers over the Hawks, 135-119. Hawks over the Wizards, 117-114. Bucks over the Bulls, 118-112. Magic over the Raptors, 103-97. Pelicans over the Jets, 124-90. Timberwolves over the Thunder, 138-101. Nuggets over the Rockets, 116-101. And the Suns over the Knicks, 115-114 on a buzzer beater 3 by Cam Johnson. Saturday, Mavs over the Kings, 114-113. Hornets over the Spurs, 123-117. Heat over the 76ers, 99-82. Grizzlies over the Magic, 124-96. Timberwolves over the Blazers, 135-121. And the Lakers over the Warriors, 124-116. Sunday, Celtics over the Nets, 126-120. Bucks over the Suns, 132-112. Wizards over the Pacers, 133-123. Rockets over the Grizzlies, 123-112. Jazz over the Thunder, 116-103. Cavs over the Raptors, 104-96. Nuggets over the Pelicans, 138-130 in overtime. And the Knicks over the Clippers, 116-93. Now we look ahead to the games being played tonight. 7 o'clock, you have the Hawks and the Pistons projection. Hawks by 4 1/4, total 220 and 1/20. And my projection, or this line will, Hawks 7, total 227.5, under. Bulls 76ers, my projection is Sixers by 8 1/4, total 218 and 9/10, and it's 7 and 230.5, under. 7:30 Rocket team, my projection is Miami by 13 1/4, total 220 and 3/10. And it's 15 and 226. Under. 8 o'clock, Trailblazers, Timberwolves. My projection is Minnesota by a whopping 25, total 223 and 55 hundredths. It's 14.5 and 232. I'm laying the points at Minnesota. 8:30 Jazz Mavs. My projection is Dallas by a quarter, total 216 and 1/10. And it's 1 and 217.5. Slight under. Lakers Spurs. My projection is San Antonio by 5 and 3/4, total 224 and 55/100. And it's 2 and 232.5. Under. 9 o'clock NBA TV. Warriors Nuggets. My projection is Denver 11, total 217 and 3/10. It's 8.5 and 223. Under. And last but not least, 10:30 Knicks Kings. My projection is Kings by 3, total 218 and 9/10. And it's 3.5 and 229. Under. Alrighty. Now we'll look back on the weekend's NHL games, and we will look ahead to tonight's games. Friday, Sabres over the Wild 5-4, Lightning over the Red Wings 3-1, Rangers over the Devils 3-1, Hurricanes over the Penguins 3-2 in overtime, Kings over the Blue Jackets 4-3 in overtime, Stars over the Jets 4-3 in overtime, Golden Knights over the Ducks 5-4. Saturday, Isles over the Blues 2-1, Flyers over the Blackhawks 4-3, Coyotes over the Sens 8-5. Panthers over the Red Wings 6-2. Canucks over the Maple Leafs 6-4. Caps over the Kraken 5-2. Bruins over the Blue Jackets 5-4 in the shootout. Canadians over the Oilers 5-2. Preds over the Sharks 8-0. And the Flames over the Avs 4-3 in overtime. Sunday, Kings over the Sabres 3-0. Devils over the Blues 3-2 in overtime. Stars over the Wild 6-3. Hurricanes over the Kraken 3-2. Lightning over the Blackhawks 6-3. Rangers over the Jets 4-1. Golden Knights over the Senators 2-1. And the Ducks over the Sharks 3-2 in overtime. All right, only 5 games tonight. 7 o'clock, you have the Kings and the Bruins from TD Garden. Boston minus 220, Kings plus 180, over under 6. Overs minus 106, unders minus 114. Kings plus 1.5 is minus 152. Bruins minus 1.5 is plus 124. I think the Bruins are super overvalued here, so I'm taking the Kings as a live road dog at plus 180. Panthers, Sabres. Panthers minus 310, Sabres plus 245, over under 6.5. Overs minus 122, unders even money. Panthers minus 1.5 is minus 132. Sabres plus 1.5 is even money. I'm going to go with the contrarian under at even money. I just think that 6.5 is tough to lay an over. Even though the Sabres are just really bad. But I could just see them not scoring much. Like, I could see this game being 5-0 Florida. Maple Leafs, Blue Jackets. Toronto minus 230. Columbus plus 190. Over under 7. Overs plus 104. Unders minus 128. Leafs minus 1.5 is plus 110. Columbus plus 1.5 is minus 134. Columbus has been a little bit better of late. This is tough. But I'm actually going to go over 7 at plus 104, amazingly enough. I can see this game being 5-4, 5-3. 7:30 Avs Islanders. Avs minus 215. Isles plus 176. Over under 6. Overs minus 106. Unders minus 114. Avs minus 1.5 is plus 124. Isles plus 1.5 is minus 152. I'm going to go with the over. And last but not least, 9:30 Oilers Flames. Flames minus 200. Oilers plus 162. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 112. Unders minus 108. Oilers plus 1.5 is minus 160. Calgary minus 1.5 is plus 130. I like the over. Minus 112. Why not? All right, Major League Soccer from the weekend. We'll go over the results from the weekend real quick, as it was an interesting weekend in that sport, to say the least. Saturday, New England over Dallas 1-0. Red Bulls over Toronto 4-1. Kansas City over Houston 1-0. Philadelphia over Club Football Montreal 2-1. San Jose and Columbus 3-3 draw. Chicago Orlando 0-0 draw. Colorado over Atlanta 3-0. DC United over Cincinnati 1-0. Minnesota Nashville 1-1 draw. Seattle loses 1-0 to Salt Lake. Vancouver NYCFC's 0-0 draw. LA Galaxy over Charlotte 1-0. And then yesterday, Austin over Miami 5-1, and LAFC and Portland 1-1 draw. All right, so there it was for Major League Soccer for today. Now we're going to look back at the golf results from the weekend. we will start with the Arnold Palmer Invitational. And your winner of that event with a score of 5 under, Scotty Scheffler. I think he was my pick to win this event, amazingly enough. Tied for second with 4 under, Victor Hovland, Brett Horschel, and Tyrell Hatton. Tied for 5th with 3 under, Chris Kirk and Gary Woodland. Tied for 7th with 2 under, Lucas Herbert and Taylor Gooch. Tied for 9th with 1 under, Matt Fitzpatrick, Sam Burns. Tied for 11th at even, Keegan Bradley and Corey Connors. Now I'm just going to go through Nobles. Tied for 13th with 1 over, Rory McIlroy, Ryan Henley, Cam Young. Tied for 17th with 2 over, Max Homa, John Rahm, Aaron Weiss. Tied for 20th with 3 over, Sunjam, Hideki Matsuyama, Nate Watney, Tommy Fleetwood, Kristen Ziedenhout. Tied for 26th with 4 over, Brandon Sales, Siwoo Kim, Sebastian Munoz, Adam Scott, Jason Kokrak. Tied for 32nd with 5 over, Taylor Hogue, Adam Long, Nate Taylor, Patton Kazir. Tied for 38th with 6 over, Walter Zalatoris, Patrick Rogers, Sergio Garcia. Tied for 42nd with 7 over, Kyung-Hoo Lee, Zach Johnson, Pat Perez, Taylor Moore, Adam Schenk, Dylan Fratelli, Eden Poulter. Tied for 52nd with 8 over, Ricky Fowler, J.J. Spawn, Lucas Griffin, Matt Jones. 60th with 9 over, Brendan Todd. 61st with 10 over, Cam Champ, Matt Wolf, Danny Lee, Vincent Whaley, Sam Ryder, Keith Mitchell, Dylan McCarthy. Tied for 68th with 11 over, Lee Westwood, Mark Leachman. 72nd with 13 over, Paul Casey. 73rd with 14 over, Maverick McNeely. Tied for 74th with 16 over, Torrey Merritt, Lucas Glover. 77th with 19 over, Cesar Reed. And among those cut, Doug Gibb, Kevin Stroman, Patrick Reed, Justin Rose, Luke Gliss, Matt Thompson, Brent Snecker, Henrik Norlander, Adam Putnam, Seb Straka, Lucas Hodges, Charles Schwartzel, Cam Davis, Aaron Ray, Kevin Kisner, Seamus Power, Evan Van Rooyen, Matt Walsh, Hudson Swafford, Cam Triangle, Carlos Ortiz, Kevin Na, Rory Sabatini withdrew. Puerto Rico Open. I'm just going to go through top 5 in the notables. Your winner with a score of 20 under, Ryan Brem. Second with 14 under, Max McGreevy. Tied for third with 13 under, Tommy Gainey and Brandon Wu. Tied for 5th with 12 under, Chad Ramey and Colum Taryn. Tied for 7th with 11 under, Bryce Garnett, Matt Schwab, Matthias Schwab, Joaquim Herman. Tied for 16th with 10 under, Kyle Stanley. Tied for 22nd with 9 under, Brock Stewart. Tied for 28th with 8 under, Richie Wierenski, Joseph Brumlett. Tied for 35th with 7 under, Tyler Duncan, Rafa Cabrera Bales. And tied for 38th with 6 under with Mark Hubbard. Tied for 41st with 5 under, Dylan Vanderwalt, Mariano Gillick. Tied for 50th with 4 under, Cam Thompson. Tied for 59th with 2 under, DJ Tran. Tied for 61st with 1 under, Jason Hadley. And among those cut, Bo Van Pelt, Lucas Donald, Camilo Vegas, among a bunch of others. This was like a lower tier of the tournaments, and Arnold Palmer was the more advanced. We got a good one coming up between the 10th and the 13th, the Players Tournament. So that's going to be a fun one to watch, and it's being played at the Players Stadium course. So that's going to be a fun one to cover for sure. Alrighty, now I'm going to do NASCAR results from the weekend. We're going to start with trucks. Your winner of the race was Chandler Smith. Second was Kyle Busch. Third was Stuart Friesman. Fourth, Ryan Preece. Fifth, Tanner Gray. Sixth, Matt DiBenedetto. Seventh, Matt Kraft. And eighth, Brett Holmes. Ninth, Austin myself. 10th, Ty Majeski. And then the rest. Dean Thompson, Taylor Fogelman, Carson Hosfar, Chase Purdy, Matt Mills, Tyler Ankrum, Chris Wright, Timmy Hill, Lawless Allen, Loris Hesmans, Todd Bodine, Matt Jaskell, Grant Effinger, Derek Kraus, Joe Nemechek, Jordan Anderson, Spencer Boyd, Christian X, Thad Moffitt, Kaz Gralla, Ben Rhodes, Jack Wood, Haley Deegan, Colby Howard, Blaine Perkins, and Zane Smith. Alrighty. Now we're going to do nationwide results very quickly from Vegas. Your winner, Ty Gibbs. Second, Noah Gragson. Third, Daniel Hemrick. Fourth, Josh Berry. Fifth, Justin Allgaier. Sixth, Landon Castle. Seventh, Sheldon Creed. Eighth, Brett Moffitt. Ninth, AJ Allmendinger. 10th, Brendan Jones. The rest, Jeremy Clements, Joe Nemechek, Ryan Ellis, Riley Herbst, Alex Labb, Kyle Sieg, Anthony Alfredo, Bailey Curry, Jeb Burton, JJ Yealy, Mayat Snyder, Joey Gase, Kez Gralla, CJ McLaughlin, Sam Meyer, Kyle Weatherman, Mason Massey, Jade Buford, Brandon Brown, Ryan Truex, Austin Hill, Ryan Vargas, Stefan Parsons, Jesse Awuji, Matt Mills, Ryan Sieg, Brennan Poole, and Joe Graff Jr. Alrighty. Now the Cup results from the weekend from Vegas. And winning the race with Alec Bowman, second, Kyle Larson, third, Ross Chasen, fourth, Kyle Busch, fifth, William Byron, sixth, Eric Almirola, seventh, Tyler Riddick, eighth, Martin Truex Jr., ninth, Chase Elliott, 10th, Chris Bell, 11th, Austin Dillon, 12th, Kevin Harvick, 13th, Kyle Busch, 14th, Joey Logano, 15th, Corey LaJoie, 16th, Harrison Burton, 17th, Justin Haley, 18th, Corey Boucher, 19th, Austin Cindric, 10th, 20th, Ty Dillon, 21st, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 22nd, Daniel Hemrick, 23rd, Todd Gilliland, 24th, Brad Keselowski, 25th, Bubba Wallace, 26th, Cody Ware, 27th, Michael McDowell, 28th, PJ McLeod, 29th, Josh Bleakey, 30th, Garrett Smitley, 31st, Eric Jones, 32nd, Denny Hamlin. That was my pick. That was bad. 33rd, Cole Custer, 34th, Greg Biffle, 35th, Chase Briscoe, 37th, Ryan Blaney, and 37th, Daniel Suarez. All right, now I'm going to do my mock bracket. I might as well just do, like, the locations on the spot for the seedings. But I do have the orders of the seedings in which not. All right. Number 1, West Region, the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Number 1, East Region. Number 2 overall seed, the Duke Blue Devils. 1, South Arizona. 1, Midwest Baylor. 2, East Villanova. 2, South Auburn. 2, Midwest Kentucky. 2, West Kansas. 3, in the South, Wisconsin. 3, West Providence. 3, East Illinois. 3, Midwest Purdue. Ford in the West, Arkansas. For South, Houston. For East, Tennessee. For South Region, North Carolina. 5 seed in the Midwest region, Texas Tech. Oh, wait, I messed up here. Houston's supposed to be Midwest region instead of South. So 4 in the Midwest is Houston, 4 in the South, or North Carolina. 5 East, Notre Dame. 5 West, UCLA. 5 South, Murray State. 6 in the East region, Colorado State. 6 in the West region, we'll go with Miami. 6 in the Midwest region, we'll go with Wake Forest. Which leaves 6 in the South region to UConn. And in theory, they would play Wisconsin in the second round. 7th in the Midwest region, St. Mary's. 7 in the East region, Texas. 7 in the South region, Iowa. And 7th in the West region, Michigan State. So Kansas, Michigan State in the second round. That's sexy. All right. 8 seeds are in the South region. We'll go with Davidson. In the West region, we'll go with Boise State. In the Midwest region, we'll go with Alabama. Then they'll play Baylor in the second round. And in the East region, we'll go... Oh, wait, no, we can't do Virginia in the East. We have to do Alabama in the East because then Virginia would then, in theory, would play Duke. And have Alabama play Duke. And then put Virginia in the Midwest. All right, 9 East, Michigan. 9 Midwest, Creighton. 9 in the West region, we'll go with Virginia Tech, and then they would play Boise State and Gonzaga. Although it would be pretty sexy if USC played Gonzaga, but I have UCLA in that region, so I want to break up the Pac-12. And then USC will put in the South region. We'll have them play Davidson and Arizona. Oh, wait. Can't do that. So I guess... And then they would play... Yeah, we're going to move Virginia Tech to the South, and then USC, UCLA in the same region. That's all right. Whatever. They wouldn't, in theory, play until the Sweet 16. All right, 10 seed in the East region will go with Memphis. 10 seed in the South region will go with San Diego State. 10 in the West, Seton Hall. And then your 10 in the Midwest will go, let's just double check. They'd say St. Mary's and Kentucky. That were good. Oh, Kentucky, Indiana, round the 32 would be sexy. I like that. All right, and then the 11 seeds. LSU will put them in the South region. Then they play UConn and Wisconsin. We'll put Marquette in the West. They would play Miami and can't do that. Midwest, okay? For them, let's see here. Wake, and this is fun doing it live, and Purdue. Yeah, we're good. TCU will put in the East. Then they'd play Colorado State and Illinois. Good thing I avoided Wyoming in that region, because then they have to play their conference foe. And then the West region, I put Wyoming. And then they'll put them in a play-in game with SMU. And then they would play Miami and Providence. So they're good there. All right, Rutgers VCU will be the last play-in game with 12 seeds. I'm going to put them in the East region or the Midwest. So if I put them in the Midwest, they would play Texas Tech and Houston. So I like that for them, that combo. And then I'll put 12 in the East. We'll go with UAB. 12 in the South. We'll go with Ohio. And then who do I have Loyola Chicago playing? Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. UCLA. That's great. So 13 in the East. We'll go with San Diego State. New Mexico State will put in the West. Iona will put in the South. We'll put Vermont in the Midwest. 14 seed we'll put in the South. We'll put Princeton. In the East, we'll put Chattanooga. In the West, we'll put Georgia State. And then Jacksonville State we'll put in the Midwest. 15 seed in the West region, we'll put Montana State. In the South region, UC Irvine. In the Midwest, we'll put in Longwood. And then Cleveland State will be in the East region. And then your 16 seeds. In the South region, we'll go Colgate. We're going to put Delaware in the Midwest region. Bryant and Norfolk State will put in the East region as a play-in game. Then the other play-in game, Nichols and Southern, will be in the West. All right, so there you have it. It was fun doing the mock bracket from a seating standpoint on the spot. But it's time to move on. We'll go to news and notes now. A lot of stuff went down over the weekend. Just want to hit pretty much on everything that needs to be discussed. Tyrann Mathieu will become a free agent. It will probably break double digits. Von Miller wanted by several teams, including his former team, the Broncos. And then you have the Chargers, Packers, and then Rams as a reunion. Jimmy Garoppolo linked to the Saints during the Combine. It was the wildest rumor at the Combine. Denver still all in on Aaron Rodgers. That's not surprising. Patriots eyeing Robbie Anderson for a trade. Cowboys may release DeMarcus Lawrence after refusing to take a pay cut. The Saints won't franchise tag Marcus Williams, so he's going to be a free agent. Brian Grease joins 49ers staff as the former Monday Night Football analyst, leaves ESPN to become quarterbacks coach in San Francisco. That's interesting. Carr wanted by several teams, as multiple teams have expressed interest in trading for Derek Carr. The Chargers are prepared to franchise tag Mike Williams, so that's good. J.C. Jackson to hit free agency. The Chiefs are tagging Orlando Brown Jr. And then it says Green Bay not talking Rodgers trade. So who's lying here? Probably Green Bay. A big story that emerged over the weekend is that Brittany Griner was arrested in Russia in February after vape cartridges allegedly found in her carry-on bag at a Moscow airport. And the Secretary of State says that Griner detained in Russia will be provided every possible assistance. So we'll see the ramifications from that. Brutal injury for the Cavaliers. Jared Allen out indefinitely with the fractured finger. So that's unfortunate for Jared Allen. And he had a quad injury too. Draymond Green back in 7 to 10 days. That is huge news for the Warriors. They absolutely need him back. NCAA football approves a rule change as it announced measures addressing targeting penalties could not agree on in-game changes to faking injuries. Yesterday's meeting between the Major League Baseball and the Players Association deadlocked as the offer apparently went backwards. But the Players Association agreed to big changes in 2023. The shift would be banned, pitch clock would be implemented, and bases enlarged as part of a total deal with baseball. And the Players Association is open to a 14-team playoff in exchange for more flexibility on the CBT numbers and other issues. The Kalamazoo Growlers placed a lifetime ban on Rob Manfred to trying to ruin baseball. That's crazy. The Players Association launched a lockout fund as the union starts a $1 million fund to help stadium workers and other employees during the lockout. LSU lands Jaden Daniels, and he'll join the Tigers for spring practice in the next few weeks. Coyotes extend Liam O'Brien to a 2-year contract extension. The Colorado Avalanche are eyeing Patrick Kane, which is wild. If they get Patrick Kane, they immediately become the Rams of the NHL if the Vegas Golden Knights are not it already. But you could argue Vegas is it right now, but the Avs would pass them if they were able to acquire Kane. Kayvon Thibodeau eyeing the Texans. He says, I'm like Jadeveon 2.0. David Ajabo is getting a lot of buzz after the combine, as they could say you could have a superstar in a critical position in 2 or 3 years. Sauce Gardner had a good combine and is being discussed as a top overall player in the draft. The Lakers organization wants Russell Westbrook benched as Frank Vogel refuses to drop him from the starting lineup despite an internal push to demote the guard. And there's tension between the two sides that's made it impossible for him to return next season. There's no chance that Ben Simmons plays Thursday against the 76ers. Of course not, because he's going to get booed and teased, and it would be disgusting. And then I think they're going to sit him against the Knicks, too, because the Knicks fans are going to go nuts at him, too. Multiple teams eyeing Mitch Trubisky: Steelers, Commanders, Giants, Panthers, Denver. Giants unlikely to trade Saquon Barkley, as they have not heard from teams interested in their running back. That says a lot about how bad the Giants are and how bad of a year Saquon Barkley had a year ago. And then Kayvon Thibodeau talks about his Giants interview, as he said the Giants gave him a hard time during his combine interview. He said it was a big brother moment. James Bradbury could be moved, though, as he's expected to draw interest from teams around the league. I think he's going to get cut. UFC 272, Covington beats Masvidal. Cristiano Ronaldo did not play in the EPL leaders, Man City game yesterday. Coach K apologized for the loss. He said, "I'm so sorry. Today was unacceptable." You know how much losing to Carolina makes Duke fans so angry. So I don't blame Coach K for saying that. Patrick Ewing plans to return as Georgetown's head coach. I think he should be a hot seat coach going into the next year. Last year was an aberration. This year's really bad. They're like the Knicks of college basketball in a way. How they had such a great year the year before, and then it turns into a complete dumpster fire the next year. Wooden Award finalists are out. Jabari Smith, Chet Holmgren. There's a lot of other big names in there as well. And breaking news coming down right now, Kirk Herbstreit to call Thursday Night Football as Amazon's to finalize a deal with Herbstreit to make him the main Thursday Night Football analyst, while he likely stays at ESPN for college football. So he's gonna be having two duels now. So that's really interesting. So good on Amazon for getting Kirk Herbstreit, and good on ESPN for keeping one of their best analysts in the game. And non-sports news, Vice President Kamala Harris will travel to Poland and Romania next week. COVID deaths total passes 6 million yesterday. That's just unfortunate, but although COVID cases are going down, so that's good news. So that's really it for news and notes. And last but not least, my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. Nothing really jumped out to me in terms of a slam dunk pick for best bet. But if I had a best bet for Saturday, it would have been Carolina getting 11 at Duke. But my silly self didn't bet on them to win outright. I just thought that game was going to be close. So we'll go to the NBA. And I want to take Minnesota minus the 14.5, but that's a lot. I really like under 233 in Lakers Spurs. There's no Anthony Davis in this game. I know the Spurs are a high scoring team, so I understand the logistics of that play. But I'm going to go under 230.5 in Bulls 76ers. Lonzo Ball's still out. I think that that's a good play. I'm going to weigh 1 unit on under 230.5 between the Bulls and the 76ers. So there you have it for today's podcast. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything from today and looking ahead to everything tomorrow. I'll have another mock bracket out for you, news and notes. And then tonight I'm going to drop some more college basketball conference tournament podcasts, so keep an eye out for that as well. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.